Something really strange. What am I going to do? I'm going to back this train up. And I'm going to do it wide open. I visited a friend's layout here a while back. He has O-scale. You can run those trains wide open. I mean, it's made for operation. Not that you really want to do that, but it's possible. And why is that? Well, on O-scale, you know, your flanges are about twice as deep as HO. They're also twice as wide, and probably twice as heavy, which means they'll stay on the track a lot better. I want to see that in HO, so I spent a lot of time gauging my track, making sure my wheel sets work good, turnouts are smooth, no humps or bumps. So let's give it a try. Backing up a train is a real challenge. It's a test of your equipment. I'm going to open up the throttle. Wide open. Okay, I got to stop it here. We don't want to go back in the yard. Okay, I'll pull this train forward again into the next siding. Now if you can back up your trains like that, wide open throttle, you know you've done your homework. Now we'll creep him along real prototypical like. Get him over here. He's coming through Chinatown. There's a lot of those structures over there were bought on eBay. Made in China, so I call it Chinatown. Oh, we'll fix it up nice. Past the Campbell's branch line water tank. Desert scene. I'll get him in here siding and I'll show you what we're going to do. A couple trains here in the Ash Fork area. Oh, if he was to switch some cars around here, you always have this problem with the caboose. Further problem, it's the head and switching move. So I have to use a little yardage in here to move some stuff around. We need to get a car out and put it in this train. What we have to do is leave the caboose on the main. Now there's a problem. See, it's protected? It's protected by a red signal now. It's also protected on the far end of this block with a red signal. That means trains got to stop and wait till that signal goes green. There's an uncoupling magnet right here so you can disconnect the caboose. Leave it on the main. Now this happened in real life. Sometimes that caboose will disappear. This is getting back in the wheel sets again. I put intermountain wheels, but they've been modified. They've been modified so that they conduct current and make that signal stay red. Now what happens when you have those free rolling wheel sets? I believe they are intermountain wheels that have been modified to pass low current through. See how nice they roll? We just lost that caboose. All my block signals are controlled by twin T's that I make myself. Yeah, I know this is a homemade block signal right now. I plan to switch them over with some factory ones, but they serve a purpose for this right now. So in order to make those things work, I had to put in these special wheel sets made by Logic Rail Technologies. They have a path created there of high resistance so that it will trip the twin T's from rail to rail. Current passes through the whole wheel set and axles and all. I was testing these wheel sets out the other night to make sure that they did what I wanted them to do, and sure enough they did. And all of a sudden I had this caboose here on the track and it started rolling away on me. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. When that crew comes back for their caboose, it's not going to be there. So what you have to do, you have to plant some grass. You know, little tufts of grass down here between the rails, and hold that car where you want it. Oh, what looks like an upper yard is really going to be a visible staging area, just so that trains can get around the room twice, increase the mileage. Right now we have our fast mail with F7s. Against the wall is all the cars for the Grand Canyon Limited. Then eventually we'll have a tanker car train, and always those favorite trains. How come I got so many of them? This is the old Kaibab Railroad from my original layout. And some unusual cars, a metal stock car, flagstone car, packaged lumber car, some wood stock cars, a wooden gondola, and up close you get to see one of those sway back cars, you know, with the truss rods that haven't been tightened up. And it's interesting about building one of these. And then there's a drover's caboose, meaning that's used for the cattle trains. Many times there's a coach there for the buyers and sellers to make a deal with a load of cattle, and there's the caboose cupola, and also a baggage car on the end. Now that the track work has been improved, I'd like to take a car off the shelf and see how it runs. We tested this baby, and yeah, it goes. It's an old Athearn rubber band drive. However, I converted it over to the Ernst gear truck. Let's see how it goes. It takes a lot of volts to get it going. The headlight slowly comes on. That's the original Athearn design. A little power. There we go. Boy, it's a real noisemaker. But it goes. Might make some noise through here. Wide open. Sounds like a thrashing machine. Well, we're going to have to stop them up here because I have trains on the main line. If we ever do another video, we'll get into this corner of the room. There's a Campbell's tall curved trestle, two of those put together to make a nice long bridge. Some paper bag scenery and some zip texturing. Then there's a flyover to get trains to come back across the aisleway with a bridge. Some zip texture scenery. Here the main line splits off for a couple of side tracks for loading coal at our Yetahe loading facility. There's a coal tipple there that loads hopper cars. You know, when cars are being loaded at the tipple, we have lights that come on so we can do nighttime loading. I have an engine all set up for Navajo Railroad. Near the mines at Yetahe, up there on the Indian reservation, we come to the town of Galton, New Mexico, very southwest.